Now, just a couple of days ago, we had the big pro-life march in Washington, D.C. Big debate in our society about abortion. So at the edges, human life is perhaps not so precious, not so valued in our culture today. But that is the product of modern secularism. Interestingly, that view that human life is not so precious was shared by pre-Christian Greece and Rome. The Spartans would take the sick child. This is not the sick embryo, this is the sick born kid, and deposit it on the hillside only to find it dead in the morning. And that's not the big scandal, by the way. The big scandal is that the most humane and noble thinkers of ancient Greece, Plato, Aristotle, they knew about that, and they were okay with it. To them, it was no big deal. Why? Because the idea that every human life is precious, we would say sacred, that value came into the West because of Christianity. And the reason that's important is that as Christian influence in America weakens, we can reasonably predict that that value will begin to go away. We won't see it go away in one shot. We will begin to see it go away at the edges and then creep toward the middle. So we'd expect to see in our society that initially the unborn and then the very old and the infirm and people who can't take care of themselves, the value of their lives will be diminished. And ultimately you'll begin to see utilitarian arguments that apply to them, apply to everyone. If it's inconvenient to have an unwanted child, it might be inconvenient to have a born child. It's kind of inconvenient sometimes to have a 6-year-old running around.